Hello, and welcome to Parent Orientation Part 1 at Appalachian State University. My name is Marjorie Ellis, and I'm the Director of the Career Development Center. I'm going to share with you today in 3 parts how we assist your son or daughter with their career development process. Our goal is to make sure that your son or daughter isn't quite as clueless as this slide here. It says, I just heard that when this is all over, we have to get jobs. We do from time to time get students who wait until the last minute, wait until their last semester, and they're in a 20-minute parking space, and they run in and think, okay, I need a job, I need one of those resume things, what do you got? Our goal is to help them realize that the career development is a process, that it is something that you can start on as early as your freshman year, thinking about what you want to do all along the way so that you're not rushing at the last minute, you're not panicked, and that you don't realize just at graduation that you came to college to also have a career and that you need to get a job. The Career Development Center is located in the John Thomas Building on the 3rd floor. This is the same building where admissions is on the 1st floor, financial aid is on the 2nd floor, and we're on the 3rd floor. Our office is generally where students are going to be coming in at the end of their sophomore year, their junior and senior year, when they're thinking about writing their resume either for an internship opportunity or whether they want to sit down and talk more in depth with a career counselor about their major and the career possibilities. Our counselors are divided up by college. Certainly any counselor can see any student for any major, but we have counselors divided up by college so that they can specialize in a particular field and give a unique sense of awareness to that student when they come in with a unique question about that field or that line of work. Our office also conducts many outreach programs. We also have walk-in hours every day, or drop-in hours rather, every day from 2 to 4. So if you just happen to be in the building and you want to stop by and ask a quick question, you can do that. But then our outreach goes beyond our building. We don't wait for your son or daughter to find our office over in the John Thomas Building. We realize that if we did that, they'd never come. So we take a lot of our programs to the student. We'll do programs in the student union that you'll learn a little bit more about throughout the presentation. We take our programs to their clubs and their organizations, to their residence halls. We actually bring in recruiters to do workshops with our students, to do practice interviews with our students, and we conduct career fairs. Again, everything that we do to connect your son and daughter with the world of work, with networking opportunities, with employers. And actually in our Career Development Center, we have several interview rooms that allow recruiters to do screening interviews right here on campus. So your son or daughter doesn't have to drive anywhere, but they can interview with the recruiter right here. The Peer Career Center is an office that we co-sponsor with the Counseling Center. It's located in the Student Union on the 2nd floor. I like to always say it was strategically placed there because it's right outside McAllister's Deli. I always kind of make fun and say, just like the movie Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. We figured if you put it next to the food, they'll probably pass by and maybe drop in. So the Peer Career Center is where students can come in and talk to other students who had to make decisions about what they wanted to do. They can answer questions about classes and about professors. And there's also professional counselors that are there available to help with the more challenging questions that a student might have. But the Peer Career Center allows students to take inventories that helps them identify what their skills and abilities and interests are and how they may correlate with a certain type of career, a certain type of major, and what they can do with that. So this is a walk-in service. It's a free service. It allows them the opportunity to come in as many times as they need to kind of get some guidance and get some suggestions without any fear of feeling like someone is going to judge them because they don't know what they want to do. So again, this is a unique center that we co-sponsor with the Counseling Center that kind of helps them get started, to help them jumpstart their career. And they can use the center throughout all their years here, whether it's their freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior year. What do you mean you still want to be a cowboy? Again, we recognize that your son or daughter is probably going to come up with all kinds of things that you've never heard of that they want to do. And you're going to look at them like, okay, I don't recognize you. What are you talking about? You've never mentioned that before. And it will be hard for you to maintain your cool sometimes. But our job as career counselors, as professionals, is to hear what they're saying and to talk them through it, to walk them through it, to get them to explore the thing that they're talking about and really kind of help them narrow down Is that really what I want to do? Am I just interested in this as a leisure, as a side thing? Or do I really want to embark on this particular thing as a career? We're going to help them do some research and investigate the field to kind of help them get a more realistic view of what they want to do. So if they come up with something that you've never heard of, just gently say, have you been to the Career Development Center? Maybe they might be able to help you. And that's our job, and we love it. I imagine you'll be interested in one of our more highly visible occupations. This slide reminds us of at least two students who kind of had this look going on. There was a young man who came into my office, and he was sporting this mohawk with his hair shaved on both sides and this razor sharp mohawk. And he came in and he said, I want to be a teacher. Okay, imagine the surprise on my face thinking, you're going to teach with a mohawk. But I was so fascinated with his hair and how it was just standing up so razor straight. Instead of asking him about teaching, I asked him, so how do you get your hair to stand up like that? He smiled and said, I use Elmer's glue. Now, I got to tell you, I was a little surprised. I thought he was going to tell me about some industrial strength mousse, but he said Elmer's glue. I'm like, wow. I'm happy to say that this young man went through that metamorphosis. His hair grew in. He no longer uses Elmer's glue on his hair, and he is a successful kindergarten teacher, and the kids love him. So again, if your son or daughter comes home and they're doing something a little different in their look, don't panic. It usually passes. Also, looking at the striped stocking here that this young lady is wearing in this slide reminds me of one of my colleagues tells a story of a student who she was working with had been in one of her workshops on how to dress for success. And we were talking about how young ladies might want to wear a dress or a professional skirt suit or something. And the student came up to her afterwards and said, I don't think I can do the whole skirt dress thing. And we said, are you just uncomfortable wearing a dress? And she said, well, during my freshman year on a dare, I kind of got a snake tattoo from my ankle to my thigh. And if I wear a skirt or a dress, they're going to see it. And we said, you may wear pants. So we try to work with them to kind of hide some of the mistakes that they've made and hide some of the tattoos that they've gotten and some of the body piercings. So again, don't panic. This too will pass. I haven't decided on a major yet. I haven't even chosen a long-distance phone company. Again, we recognize that you have been helping your son or daughter all along make decisions. You're their parents, and you know that sometimes they procrastinate. Sometimes they wait till the last minute to do something. And so you've been there to kind of save the day. But now it's their turn. They've got to make a decision on what they want to major in, what they're going to be doing with that career, what classes they're going to get to take. Are they going to take an 8 o'clock class? And they may really be a little intimidated by, my gosh, I have to make a decision. What if I make the wrong one? What if I choose a career and I don't like it and I'm stuck with it? We want them to understand that choosing a career, the career development process is just that. It's a process. It's an ongoing process. And that we want to help them not be paralyzed by making decisions, but kind of identify how they've actually made decisions in the past and how you've helped them make those decisions and help them be more comfortable. And that if they choose something, that there's usually ample time during their years here at college where they can change their minds if they have to, or they may lean towards something else. So it's not etched in stone. And we want to help them be viable enough to make some really good decisions. Jobs? Got any jobs? Got any skills? I knew there'd be a catch. Again, we as career professionals are in touch with employers on a regular basis. So we know that although it is very, very important for students to succeed and have good grades in school, that's not everything. You have to also bring something to the table to be competitive, to be marketable. You have to have some skills other than your skill to be a good student. You have to be able to show them that you have something that they can use for their job with their company and that you are going to be a good risk. So I know that some parents would rather say, I don't want my son or daughter to work. I want them to just concentrate on getting good grades. But there will be ample opportunities that I'll share with you later on how they can get some skills, because in order to be competitive, they're going to have something other than just a good GPA. They're going to have had some kind of work experience, some kind of encounter where they've been able to build some skills that they can donate to the process. So as I said, Employers want your sons and daughter to do well in school, so having a good GPA is a good start. But they have to be able to articulate, they have to be able to talk a good game, they have to be able to communicate to the employer what they're bringing to the table and how effective they can be in this job. So they want to maybe have had done some presentations in clubs and organizations or in their class so that they can work on their communication skills. And they also want to show that they can contribute something. When they're a part of something, they're not just a member, but they're a contributing member. A lot of times we'll have students who will just join clubs and organizations just to say that they were a member, but really the value is in if they're taking an active role. So we want them not to just be members of organizations, but to be doers so that they can show what their contribution has been to the betterment of that organization. And again, the whole process is that employers want to make sure that you know how to market your skills, that you can make the connection between the skills that you have and what you can bring to the table for the recruiter to make a good, sound choice in selecting you. So how do you get skills? Most people say, jobs require you to have a skill, but I don't have I haven't graduated, so how do I get these skills? Well, internships are an excellent way for students to develop skills while they're in school. An internship is an opportunity for them to kind of get their feet wet, to take a look at the field that they thought they wanted to go into, to kind of see if it's exactly what they thought it was, to give the employer an opportunity to look at them and see them as a viable candidate. Many recruiters are grooming their interns to be full-time employees after they're done. Some internships are going to be paid and required for class. Some are going to be unpaid and not required. But either way, we strongly encourage doing an internship. Maybe you're involved in co-curricular activities, clubs and organizations. Again, this is an excellent way to start developing your teamwork skills, your management skills, your supervisory skills, your creative talent. Summer jobs, part-time jobs. Again, whether those jobs seem to be directly connected to the field that you're in really isn't the issue, but that you're showing that you can be a part of a team, that you have some leadership qualities, that you're dependable. And it's not always about the job that you got paid to do. Maybe you did some great volunteer work. Maybe you did some fundraising in your community. Those things are excellent as far as developing the total person and having transferable skills. Maybe you're a part of an athletic team. It requires great time management to be a successful athlete and also manage your life at college, managing your classes. Maybe you've got your own little business on the side. Or maybe you're just doing some research and you're taking some elective classes that are introducing you to other things. All of these are opportunities for skill development that they can do over a spring break or over the summer or over Christmas break. So take a look at that, because it's really, really very important that they have something other than their grades, but that they have skills. To support what I just said, our national organization, the National Association of Colleges and Employers, give us these statistics that talk about experience that go along with college grads. And they report about 71.5% of students that graduate have at least had a part-time job, 61.2% have held a summer job, 46.9% have had even a full-time job at one time. 42.7% have acquired experience through an internship, and only about 2.5% have had no experience. It is crucial that your son or daughter have some experience to put on their resume, to be competitive, not just with their fellow classmates here, but people who graduated last year or the year before that might have gotten laid off that now have a year or two under their belt. Or maybe even people who've been in the field for years that have found themselves now back on the job market. So again, it's important to have good grades, but it's equally important to also have valuable skills to bring to the table. This concludes part 1 of parent orientation. Thank you.